Hello everyone, Biomechanable here. It's been a while since the last time we had a video, but me and my brother Messiahbolical are back. Sorry for the abrupt exit on our last survival game. The world ended up getting corrupted before the major update that came out at Christmas, and we just didn't have time to get back to doing anything until now. We toyed around doing a couple different scenarios, or trying to build a couple different scenarios, but that didn't really work out. And so now we finally got one set up. Anybody who thinks this looks familiar, that's because we're playing using my aircraft showcase and testing range available on the Steam Workshop for anybody looking for a download. It's not quite as complex as this on the Steam Workshop. Me and my brother have pretty beastly rigs, so I've went ahead and outfitted the testing range with a couple extra buildings like this factory facility and a build site. I can't stay up here forever. I am in survival. I gotta watch my hydrogen. But we also have our medical facility. This is a container that will spout out components from the factory facility here once we're done. We have anti-aircraft guns, a better helicopter. In fact, we have a couple different vehicles that previously weren't in the testing world. This one actually is. I added it the other day and updated the world. It is the Groff Zeppelin refueling drone, because the entire point of this world, for those of you who haven't seen it, was to give me a place, or rather to give other people a place where they could easily test my World War II aircraft models to see if they wanted to download them. They do involve quite a few mods, I must say. Some of them involve, I don't know, as low as like 15, but some of them might take up to 25. Between all the planes, and I've built 10 different models, there's no more than 30 mods used total, which is how many this world usually contains. So over here we have a British Gloucester Meteor and the German Me-262. And we've split them up not by Access and Allies, that's how it's split up in the download, but here we've split it up by which ones my brother owns and which ones I own. We did a vote and basically took planes like voting for members of a sports team in your gym class. And Mark has the Twin Mustang, the FW-190 Werger, and down at the end here, yep, the British Spitfire. On my side, I have a Stuka, and the P-51B Mustang Mark III, and the Japanese Zero, as well as my Me-262. We also feature a lifter copter, just kind of generic. I didn't build it based on any sort of a design, and we just needed something to be able to manipulate the planes. Their landing gear are all retractable, which is part of the problem. They don't, you can't turn the landing gear left or right because they're on subgrids, so you can't taxi the planes properly, and we needed some way to move them around when we needed them. So I built this like lifter copter here. It's like one part plane, one part helicopter, so that we could move them around. Called it the Raptor. In this last hangar over here, we have a drone called the Terror Wing, and it's just a spy drone, but it's also a pretty heavily explosive bomb if it needs to be. That's about everything in the world I can think of, really. This is a barracks and rec room, kind of just a place to hang out and chill. You saw the medical facility when I got out of my cryo tube. Over here we have the factory. It's got everything we need, some fully upgraded refineries, and this is the assembler array, all set up to sort its own stuff. You know, pulls ingots out of the refineries and up into them, and then shoots components back down, which will get drawn out into that container over there, as I stated before. The only other thing that we didn't go over in any sort of great detail is this is the HK Shark helicopter. Its name comes from its tail, obviously, and the fact that I gave it fins. But I needed something capable of quick response because the planes don't taxi out onto the runway, so I built a attack helicopter. And there's my brother now, signing into the game. He'll be here momentarily. And then we're going to start talking about what our first couple of moves are going to be. We have starter resources. Obviously we have a whole base, but we do have some troublesome pirates over there. That base has been castrated of its antenna, so to speak, so it can't actually call in drone reinforcements. I did that for the purpose of the world download, so that it wasn't just constantly coming over here and blowing things up while you're trying to test a plane out here on the runway. Got some farms. We need a solar complex still. That hasn't been built. We don't have an underground bunker of any kind. We don't have a hydrogen oxygen generator because we're relying on those farms. These are our tanks. They're armored. Control panel for the whole facility, or well, control seat. We got everything that we basically need, but there's some things we don't have. No solar power. Batteries are being taken care of aesthetically, you could say. Around the base in various places you'll see these power boxes, which are part of the iKester's decorations pack. I'm not sure if it's pack 1 or pack 2, but they just make, you know, really nice, obviously decorational pieces, but they also work as small batteries carrying a charge, which is really nice. So there's about, I think there's 24 of them scattered throughout the base, so that we didn't have to have some unified room full of batteries somewhere that was easy to just bomb and take out. You can't just collapse power to this whole facility in one broad stroke like that. It's always a good idea. Got some staircases. This cargo container is so we can pick it up and take it to a mining location using the Raptor copter, because we needed something to be able to transfer or transport ore, I guess. We also want to build like a mining vehicle capable of carrying the ore itself, because this is designed to just like allow you to drop it off into the roof and it'll flow into the refineries and shorten the whole process. Anybody who's wondering where some of these magnificent parts have come from, like the big hinges there that look really nice, or these rounded coverings that I used on the blimps, these are all parts of the plane parts mod built by a man named Takeshi. You should probably go check that out. It's a really nice, really comprehensive mod. He's the one that did all the landing gear doors for the planes that allow them to retract up into the wings. He did all the suspensions for the wheels, these really nice like nose landing gear and these back ones, and he does all different kinds. Like there's double wheels that you could use for, say, like a 747 jetliner, and then you have these nice single wheels. These weapons are from a pack called CMD, I believe, just Command Bob's Weapons. But those are the main, other than the armor ramps mods, those are the main mods I use to build the planes, which is really nice to have all the parts in just 1 or 2 mods. The propellers are their own mod, like plane, I can't forget what they're called, helioprop, something like that. I don't remember what it's called, but the plane propellers are also their own mod. So it takes a couple, but in the end I tried to be as historically accurate to each one as I could. So we're hoping to do an ongoing survival series here where we're going to fly these planes against enemy bases and raid them, combat test them, generally just have a good survival time. Obviously we're not trying too hard to survive, considering we've given ourselves a pretty hefty starting base and a bunch of craft to play with, but I mean that's about the same as the easy start world if you think about it. You know, I mean, it gives you a couple, like what, 3 or 4 different little craft and 2 or 3 blueprints, some partially built craft, and an entire base to work with a medical station, you know, a refinery and assembler. We don't have a grind pit, that's not something we have, but a lot of the craft that we're building are small, cheap. They could easily be ground down manually. We don't expect there to be a whole lot of wreckage. Oh, Mark's here. I just decided to have a sit down and, you know, wait for you. So how's it going? Oh, I need to...
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and throw my... I haven't set up my... my starter toolbar to have my tools in it or my expressions.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and throw down my character expressions and stuff. And then my tools. Let's see, my gun. Welder. armor block. There we go. That's my usual starter set here. We got a little recovery room here. I'm pretty sure these doors are also part of Ikester's decorations pack, which is really cool. You know, I always love extra doors. Can never have too many doors, really, right? It's kind of like armor ramps. Can never have too many different variants of armor ramps.
Right.
It's like, even the obscure ones that you don't use all the time. I have a bunch. Yeah, see, I have a bunch of like esoteric armor blocks. These are part of the PCX, or I think the mod's called more armor block variants, but he calls them PCX armor blocks in the side categories here. These are also, I also have the armor slabs extension, reworked armor panels, reworked armor ramps. Can never have too many different shapes of armor. Alright, I don't feel right chilling in a hospital, so I'm gonna go chill in the barracks while we discuss our plan. Right now it's kind of like our war room, basically. Make sure you keep your helmet open. Don't want to be relying on suit oxygen. Alright. We don't really have to shut the doors. I mean, this whole place is oxygenated, but we are on Earth. Oh, I remember when you were asking about conveyors that were just running into the ground while you were running around down there. That's why they're running into the ground, is they had to get to the bottom of this. So that it could come up through this vent and oxygenate the room. It was the only way to get air into here. I also added defense shutters to the windows. The med station doesn't have them because it can't. Too many of the blocks inside get in the way, but both the factory and this building have defense shutters that can be closed. Alright, so we have some starter resources in the refineries. There's 50,000 unrefined of everything waiting to be, you know, waiting to be set up. It just has to be put through the refineries. So we can build stuff to start with. And we need to establish mining operations somewhere. Yeah, I know. You're a miner. That's your thing. And we need to figure out what we're going to do about those nearby pirates. Now, it is an ore handling facility. So we could almost assume that they have resources for the taking.
Yeah.
So our first task could very well be to hit that place. You know? But how are we going to hit it?
Find a way to wrap them.
Like, yeah, basically. I guess cost effectiveness becomes key.
We need some handheld rocket launchers.
I agree with that. Alright, let's head over to the factory complex. That'd be
minimum damage, but they still can take out, like, you know, an interior turret, you know, in one shot or so.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind having a handheld plasma cannon. Just because I want one. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start the refineries here and get them.
Oh god. I hurt myself a little. I came in the door and my jetpack turned itself on.
Dude, another cool effect of that, if you
wall.
have that G-Force effects mod turned on, is that if you're flying real fast and you hit something hard enough to take damage but not kill yourself, it'll still register the sudden stop and how many G-Forces that's worth, and you could end up blacking out laying on the ground. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Like you just whop. I'm gonna lay here for a little while, guys.
Exactly. It's like, give me a second. I'm okay. I need to lay here for a minute. I don't really want to risk a jet. Like, you know, early on.
Yeah.
My Zero's not fit for this mission. Though the twin Mustang is.
Yeah, we could probably go in, fuck them up, fucking go home.
The FW-190 is definitely well suited to this mission. And so's
That?
the Werger.
That's what I thought.
And the Stuka. is also
Stuka would be good.
the Stuka is.
You'd have a gunner as well.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. The Stuka might almost be the best choice because it has the ability to make a hell of a singular dive bombing run, and it also has a tail gunner. But we're not going to run into enemy resistance. Like,
Right, no, but still fucking take pop shots at the base or try to hit missiles as they come in.
or bombs. Or, I mean,
Right.
sorry, or I was thinking attack the turrets, like, on the base
Yeah.
itself
Yeah.
with, like, better accuracy. So, yeah, that's an option. I think the best options for this mission are either a combination of some sort between the FW-190, the helicopter, the Stuka, and the Twin Mustang. Obviously, if we take the Twin Mustang, that's probably the only craft we're going to take because we'll just fly together.
Right.
Same with the Stuka, we could fly together, or I could fly it by myself. My rear turret would be useless, but, you know, it still makes a hell of a dive bombing run.
Yeah.
And you can fly the helicopter if that in that instance.
I think I like the idea of the Stuka the best.
Flying just the Stuka?
Yeah, I'll probably ride with you.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get it out onto the runway here and get it ready so that we can prep it because we're gonna need to produce extra ammo. The guns are loaded, but the ammo boxes are not full.
Right.
And I believe that craft can take on a total
I'll
of
go check our refinery and see how it's doing. I'll pull materials out of refinery 3 and shit.
3 and 4.
Do that. Right, and do that, you know.
Okay. We are going to need to produce bullets because I believe that craft can hold 120 cases of ammo extra. And 120 loaded into the guns. So yeah, 240 cases of ammo for a full load. It's already got all the rocket launchers are loaded. Everything has uranium in its, you know, basically first load of rockets on each plane is free. So after that, you have to build new ones. Still having fucking computer glitches.
Magnesium and fucking silver into the
This thing
storage.
needs a spotlight. That was fucking something I neglected to put on it. I don't want to get going too fast because air brakes are another thing that this thing could use as a modification. It'd be easiest if I came in from the back of the hangar, I think. Man, it is fucking dark.
Yeah, it is.
Like, darkness never used to be like this in this game. It is hella dark. Like, we're gonna have to make a daytime raid. There's no way we could see in the dark.
Right?
It's like, I'm having a hard time knowing whether or not I'm gonna be clipping my engines fucking pulling into this hangar. Oh no, we're good. If it wasn't for the spotlights on the ceiling, I wouldn't be able to accurately line myself up. Oh, delicate operation. Oh, no you don't. Let me see. There we go. That point sticking up off of it. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. Oh, that gets my tail. That's okay if I pull a little bit further forward.
We might have to do a reload after this.
Okay.
Cause yeah, the helicopter's still sitting on the pad. It says you're just sitting in the fucking hangar for me, so.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. We'll go back into the refinery over here.
I've almost got the Stuka placed on the runway here.
Alright. Yeah, I am getting a decent amount of lag now.
Alright. I placed the Stuka on the landing strip. And now that's what I
So it's
call
just like, this
success.
Right, that was perfect.
I put it right back where the helicopter was, and I even got it. It's decently straight. I'll straighten out better before we take off, because obviously I'll be flying this one. It's a manual plane.
Right.
There's very little automation to this thing at all.
And it's your plane, so I mean.
Make sure you remind me of that on takeoff, because I have a tendency to forget that it's a manual plane. Alright. It is the morning of our attack. We are going to put the hurt on that ore handling facility out there in our German Ju-87 Stuka. Just give you guys an overview of what we got going on here. We have an oxygen intake scoop on the side of our engine, a single set of guns in the wings. The Stuka wasn't known for its forward gun firepower. It was a plane built to make dive bombing runs, singular purpose. Some of the models, though, featured a rear gunner seat and a rear gunner turret, as this one does, for keeping fighters off our back because we're not good in a dogfight. We are featuring a heavy amount of underside firepower here for making that dive bomber run. We have our center line bomb mount, though this is a fuel drop tank slash bomb. Right now there's no fuel in it because I've siphoned it all out into the plane because I, for some reason, couldn't get a full refueling, I guess. You know, I bet I'm stuck under the plane. I bet I know why. I don't think I ever set the, I don't think I ever set the tanks on the facility. Oops. Right now I'll leave them set to stockpile because they're taking in from the oh well, the oxygen tank reached 100%. I can turn its stockpile off for anybody who needs oxygen, but the hydrogen tank is gaining from the farm right now because the sun's up enough to... Our farms are pretty optimally placed for gaining fuel. Mark should be here momentarily, waking up out of cryo sleep.
Yeah, I'm working out.
Are you ready, Mark?
I'm ready.
Alright, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up here. Wow. Alright. Oh. There we go. I'm gonna flash the power to get my oops, wrong one. Get my LCDs all online here. There we go. All LCDs are booting up. Yours should be coming online too.
Yep.
Alright. it does appear to be reading correctly. Right now it's saying that the cargo containers don't have any ammo in them, and that is true. It's all backed up into the sorters. Like I said, this plane can apparently hold a lot more ammo than I intended. Alright, dampeners on. First I'm going to turn HUD signals off so they're not distracting to me during takeoff. I want to see if I can use the gyro to... Nope, nope. And this is a manual plane. Haha, I remembered. Alright, we're going to... Here we go. This plane has a drop tank, so I think I'm going to play it safe and... Ooh. I'm going to rev the engine down to a lower speed. Ah! And just worry about keeping her on the runway. There we go. In the air. And go ahead and lock the wheels because it's a manual plane. There's all our throttle. Go ahead and change lift settings. Alright, we're up and away.
Yeah.
I can see you in the back seat, it's pretty cool.
I press B, it like pans out and I see you just sitting there flying.
Alright.
So what's 2 and 3 on my bar?
What are the pictures?
They look like antennas.
Oh,
I
that's
think
because, yeah, it's one's like ignore allied broadcast and the other's ignore enemy broadcast. It's because not only are you gunner, you're radio operator.
Oh, okay. I take it, I mean, obviously if I press 1, it will give me the gun, yeah. Oh god, I pointed straight in my face. Hi, Andrew, no. Blow my own head off.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Also, please don't take out our tail.
I will not shoot our tail, I promise.
Alright. I'm going to try to gain a little bit more altitude because one of the bonuses of this plane is dive brakes. Here we go. I'm gonna come in hard now and hit him good. I heard that.
I was gonna shoot, the tail was in the way.
That's okay, I'm gonna come back around for another pass. This time I'll make sure you get a shot off. I'm not used to having a second person to worry about.
No, you're good.
Their guns don't seem to be firing at us. Here we go.
This plane is dope.
We're still within firing range. It's only 600 some odd meters away. Fuck yeah, this is sweet.